Hey there, eighth graders. Welcome back. It's been really exciting to read the drafts of your poetry. And for those of you night owls who submitted last night, we're excited to read your work too.
Today we're filming and it's Earth Day, hence why we're all wearing green. And in honor of Earth Day, we're going to read you a poem. It's called Remember by Joy Harjo. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of its stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time.
Remember sundown and the giving away to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers.
Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are, red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems.
Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people and all people are you.
Remember you are this universe and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance languages that life is. Remember.
Also, students, fun fact, Joy Harjo is our current Poet Laureate, so you should definitely check out some more of her beautiful poetry.
Our objective for this lesson is that you will be able to use your understanding of poetic and literary devices and figurative language to experiment with revising words, lines, or stanzas from your rough draft.
Last week, we broke the ice and got going with drafting our own poems. While that can be hard, this week we're focusing on one of the most important parts of the writing process, revision.
Revision! Revision!
Gotta love a musical illusion. But why do we have to revise? I thought our poem was pretty good.
It was, but like we said last week, it's important to step away from your work and take a second or third or fourth look with fresh eyes and fresh ideas. We may not choose to keep all our new ideas, but some of them may help turn our poem into a masterpiece.
It might even mean removing some of our original ideas, but always saving them for later, just in case.
Yeah, and we'll definitely want to think about those authors' moves we analyzed for last week. We should try shoplifting a few for our poem.
Another illusion.
Okay, let's get revising. Here's our poem the way we left it. Untitled, by some of your favorite English teachers. The bell rings. I shove a handful of banana chips into my mouth. I haven't eaten in 3 hours. Gulp a mouthful of stale coffee that has chilled to a less than comforting temperature and dash towards the bathroom. But I am swept out to sea. I dodge and dip, bobbing up and down and side to side in a wave of North Face and LL Bean backpacks. A sharp elbow pierces my side as an enthusiastic student urgently approaches their friend to share the most recent gossip. I think I may be overcome. And yet I can see within arm's reach the glittering silver door handle sending out a lifesaver, reeling me in. I pull the door open, feel the welcoming rush of lilac Febreze as I enter the serene oasis of the bathroom. I let out a sigh of relief. I have survived the harrowing 5-foot journey across the hall. Before starting our revisions, we took a few minutes to identify the author's moves that we had already included in our poem. Here's a screenshot of our work.
Okay. Seems like we have a bunch of imagery and metaphors, but we don't have too much personification or onomatopoeia in this poem.
We have rings, but it might not be the strongest example. There's definitely room to improve and experiment with other examples of both. And then dash towards the bathroom is an example of assonance, dash and bath. But I'm wondering if we replace the word towards with to. Maybe that ah sound would get more pronounced. How do we feel about that?
I think we should try it. Pro tip, students. Copy and paste your poem so you can make changes but not lose the original. You can also highlight changes you make using a different color. This will help your teachers see clearly the revisions you've made.
What do the bells at Sharon Middle School sound like?
The NBC chimes?
Do, do, do.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Maybe we should change the first onomatopoeia from rings to chimes. And we can add the word crunch to the second line to have more sound details in that first stanza.
I wonder if we can amp up the rhythm in the third stanza. Maybe something like I flinch and fall forward, doubled over.
Oh, I'm noticing that 2 in the line above what we just added shouldn't be capitalized, and in a couple more places. We should fix that too.
Pro tip, students. Your Google Doc likely auto-capitalized your lines when you hit enter. You should go back and adjust them to make sure the capitalization matches where your actual sentence structure is, or is intentional. We noticed this as we were adding ideas to our poem, and we went back and fixed it.
All right, students, we felt really good about the last 2 stanzas of our poem, so we didn't change them.
We're going to read for you now the stanzas that we did update.
The bell chimes. I crunch on a handful of banana chips that I've hastily shoved into my mouth. I haven't eaten in 3 hours. Then I gulp a mouthful of stale coffee that is chilled to a less than comforting temperature and dash to the bathroom. A sharp elbow pierces my side as an enthusiastic student urgently approaches their friend to share the most recent gossip. I flinch and fall forward, doubled over. I think I may be overcome.
So, to summarize, we enhanced our already existing onomatopoeia to better match the Sharon Middle School bell sound. In the last line of the first stanza, we changed towards to to in order to emphasize assonance. We also added a descriptive line with alliteration to our third stanza.
As a bonus, we started to make some purposeful line breaks to chunk some of our lengthier lines. We haven't talked about line breaks yet. We'll do that next week. But if you're feeling inspired, feel free to begin thinking about how you might break up the lines in your own poem.
And we're starting to think about titles, but we're not there yet. Here are some of the ideas that we've got going. Against the Current, The Incredible Journey, #Teacher Life, Bathroom Break for it.
For your own poems, we'd like you to read through and notice if you've made any author moves of your own. If you have, highlight and annotate in the margins which of the moves you used. If you can't find any, no problem. More room to experiment later.
Once you've read through your poem and noticed the moves you've already used, we're asking you to make at least 3 revisions to your poem. Try to choose moves that would truly elevate your poem. Don't force an onomatopoeia when your poem doesn't need sound. And remember, if you decide later that you liked some of your original choices better, you can always revert back. That's why it's so important to keep a copy of your original poem.
Please copy, paste, and turn in all versions you draft so that we can see them. Your turn. Good luck.
Bye.